Here's your news for November 16, 2019. We're looking at the latest edition of WWE Smackdown today, as the Road to Survivor Series is nearly at an end. King Baron Corbin kicked off this week's show, taking shots at Roman Reigns, calling the big dog a puppy. To drive the analogy home, Corbin even brought out someone dressed as a dog before proposing a tag match for that night, pitting Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler against Mustafa Ali and Shorty Gable. With the stipulation being that if Roode and Ziggler won, they'd replace the faces on the men's Survivor Series team. Everyone fought hard, but midway through the match, it was Reigns who made the difference. Interfering in the bout, Roman's distraction allowed Ali and Gable to gather momentum, getting the win over the former Raw Tag Team Champions and keeping their spots for Team Blue at Survivor Series. Speaking of Survivor Series, Bray Wyatt will have his first title match on pay-per-view as Universal Champion when he takes on Daniel Bryan. During the main event of last night's show, the huge title match was confirmed for the show, which will take place at the All-Star Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. The bad blood between the two started when Bryan was attacked by the Fiend last week and received a mandible claw for his troubles, though this won't be the first time these two face off. Appearing on Miz TV, Bryan said that Wyatt is mentally unstable, but so is he, but didn't have the chance to say much more before he was interrupted by the Universal Champion himself. Appearing on the Titantron, this all culminated in Bryan issuing the challenge and Wyatt accepting with a yes chant, but that wasn't the only big news from the segment. Wyatt also debuted a new Universal Championship title design, this one with a blue strap to indicate its new home on SmackDown. Many fans expected this change after Wyatt won the title from Raw's Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel, while the WWE title held by Brock Lesnar was moved to the red brand earlier this month. This may not be the only title redesign though, as according to Belt Fan Dan on Twitter, some new SmackDown tag titles have been ready for months and could be debuting very soon. The longtime wrestling belt creator and historian has been pretty accurate in the past regarding new gold, so fans should expect to see the new tag titles in the not-so-distant future. We mentioned already that Mustafa Ali and Shorty Gable were able to retain their Survivor Series spots, and this Monday, Seth Rollins will hope to do the exact same. On the Go Home Raw for the event, Rollins will defend his spot as captain of Team Raw against Andrade, and this all started after a scathing tweet by Zelina Vega. Responding to Vega after a match in Regensburg, Germany, Rollins issued the challenge and Andrade quickly accepted. Either Rollins or Andrade will lead Kevin Owens, Ricochet, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre into battle next Sunday, and will face SmackDown's Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Braun Strowman, Mustafa Ali, and Shorty G, as well as 5 unknown NXT superstars. Speaking of NXT, the Gold brand once again made its presence known during SmackDown as the Undisputed Era got involved during a tag team title match. The contest between the New Day and former champions The Revival nearly saw the Brawlers regain the title, until a Kofi Kingston splash leveled everyone involved. Following that, the quartet of NXT stars made their move, assaulting the two tag teams before escaping when more SmackDown stars showed up. With tensions boiling over between all three brands, Survivor Series can't come quick enough, as the show is promising to be one of the best WWE events of the entire year. We've got some news from 205 Live now. As though the purple brand hasn't had as much exposure as its red, blue, or gold counterparts, fans can still see some incredible athleticism. One superstar fans won't see for a while though is the Brian Kendrick, who took to Twitter to announce an indefinite leave from the ring. Kendrick, a former Cruiserweight champion, said it had been 3 years since his last title opportunity and blasted the brand by saying nobody understands or respects what he has done. Though it's quite possible this is a storyline, Kendrick could be just one of several WWE superstars unhappy with their place in the company, and is a veteran of the industry. Signing with WWE all the way back in 2000, Kendrick has been in and out of the company over the years, returning in 2005 before being brought back full-time for 2016's Cruiserweight Classic. At last week's 205 Live tapings, Kendrick lost to Mansoor and came up short in the 20-man Battle Royal at Crown Jewel. While Kendrick may have lost in Riyadh recently, one man who didn't was Tyson Fury, who brought his charisma and personality to WWE by defeating Braun Strowman. With very little wrestling training, the undefeated heavyweight boxer won via countout after he gave a right hand to the monster among men, and recently told TalkSport about some high praise he received from Vince McMahon. Fury said, "Vince McMahon said he's recruited sports stars from all different sports and he has never seen anyone come into their game, have a couple of training sessions, and pick it up like that. I looked like a natural in there." It's a bold claim by the Gypsy King, but we can't help but have some doubt, as most fans consider Kurt Angle as the greatest example of a sports person taking to wrestling like a duck to water, and at Crown Jewel, Fury was no Kurt Angle. Still, it's good to see that Fury enjoyed himself in the company, and fans should be expecting another appearance by the UK fighter in the coming years. Speaking of transitional stars, Ronda Rousey still hasn't been seen on WWE TV since her WrestleMania 35 loss, but there's still plenty of stories about the former Raw Women's Champion. Now, Rousey's life will be the subject of a Lionsgate documentary, and a trailer for the film, titled The Ronda Rousey Story Through My Father's Eyes, has already dropped. In the UFC, the first-ever bantamweight champion broke expectations of what women were capable of in the male-centric fighting circle, and became a media darling by becoming just as popular and successful as her male counterparts. Now fans will get to see more of Rousey's life, both as a fighter and her personal life, when the documentary is released on digital and home video on November 19th. Now, we all know how much WWE loves discussing their legends, but this week, a shout-out to the former WWF champion Randy Savage didn't go according to plan. On what would have been the Macho Man's 67th birthday, Vince McMahon sent out a birthday message to Savage, but received some trolling online by fans. In the comments to the tweet, many fans brought up Stephanie McMahon, referencing the long-standing allegations of an underage relationship between the daughter of the boss and Savage. These allegations have never had a shred of evidence to them, and frankly, it's disgusting that fans would bring this up on the Macho Man's birthday, as it's clear some fans need to calm down. Other fans referenced a short and brief birthday message Vince sent out a while back to his son Shane, mocking the boss's apparent favoritism for superstars over his own family, but once again, it seems the fans chose to spoil what should have been a nice moment. Back to NXT now, and while their weekly television show takes place each week at the Full Sail Arena, it looks like all NXT events will stay at Full Sail, at least into the next year. According to Brad Shepard of ProSportsExtra.com, both the November 21st and November 22nd NXT Live events are likely to be cancelled, though Shepard didn't specify why the decision could be made. The November 21st show is currently scheduled in Milwaukee, while the 22nd is in Indianapolis, but that second show will take place the same night that SmackDown airs. With how frequent the NXT invasions have been, and this SmackDown will be the last televised show before Survivor Series. In addition, NXT will present their own TakeOver War Games on the 23rd, and it could be the case of the company wanting their gold brand stars to be fit and healthy for an epic weekend of pay-per-view action. One star we know won't be at either of the live events, TakeOver, or Survivor Series is Boa, who recently underwent surgery for both a torn labrum and a torn rotator cuff. Going under the knife in Birmingham, Alabama, the Chinese superstar will no doubt be hungry to get back into the Performance Center when he can, but there's no word on when this'll be. Since debuting, Boa hasn't made much of an impact on NXT TV, instead appearing mainly at live events, but this injury is the last thing he needs. While Boa may be having terrible luck, the same can't be said for Samir Singh, who retained his WWE 24/7 Championship on this week's 205 Live. After escaping with the gold on Raw thanks to the unlikely assist of Eric Rowan, Singh met Tim Gange in a match on the Purple brand and retained his title via pinfall. The Singh brothers certainly have reasons to celebrate, as Samir also made history thanks to his title reign that started at Crown Jewel, which is now the longest individual reign in the title's history. Tallying up at 16 consecutive days as champion, the reign doesn't seem long, but does put Samir in the same category as other lengthy champions like Bruno Sammartino, Lex Luger, and The New Day. And finally today we're wrapping up with news from this week's SmackDown, as there was plenty of excitement during the show's 2 hours. 1 week after Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury joined forces to unleash an onslaught on the B-Team, Drew Gulak met the Monster Among Men, flanked by Dallas and Axel, which didn't prove to be that useful. After being berated by the Cruiserweight and being the subject of a 3-on-1 beatdown for his troubles, Strowman fought back, once again destroying Dallas and Axel as Gulak wisely escaped from the Monster's hands. We've already discussed how the SmackDown Tag Team title match between the New Day and the Revival ended in a no contest, But after the Undisputed Era were scared off by the Blue Brand's tag team division, Heavy Machinery decided to stick around. Meeting local competitors Kevin Tibbs and Kip Stevens in the ring, Tucker and Otis made quick work of the pair, picking up a big win on the show. Next up, it was women's division action as Nikki Cross aimed to earn herself a spot on Team SmackDown's Women's Survivor Series team with a win over Bayley. Unfortunately for the Scottish star, the appearance of NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler quickly caused Bayley to leave the match, but she had her path blocked by Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, and Dakota Kai. Being backed up by Fire and Desire, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Tamina, and Sasha Banks, the former hugger was ready to fight now that she had the numbers, and the boss issued an 8-woman tag challenge. Together, Sasha Banks, Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Dana Brooke were able to topple the invading forces, and this may have been a preview of what will go down next Sunday at Survivor Series. On the whole, this week's SmackDown was a packed show, complete with huge building to the pay-per-view as well as the new Universal Title being revealed. If WWE plays things right, Survivor Series could easily be one of their best shows of the year, but fans will have to wait and see what goes down at the Allstate Arena on November 24th.